Well, welcome back, guys, to the Boldcastify football show. This is JLove132.
This is Clay.
I'm Justin.
All right. Well, what do we got on the docket today, guys?
Sadness.
A lot of sadness because we're Jaguar fans and we know it's what we do.
Sadness and apathy. A lot of apathy.
A lot of it.
Not much optimism.
Sorry to get the program started like that. It's just what it is.
Apathy followed in a close second with passionate negativity.
Yeah, something like that, right?
How do you kill all those good vibes from the offseason in 2 weeks? Because, we got here where we're at now as a fan base. We got to this place last year, but where was it for y'all? When did it happen for you last year?
Tampa.
Happened for you in Tampa.
I had to probably concur because I was working during the Colts game.
Colts, it damn near did it.
It was a week before for me. It was the Colts game. I made the mistake of expecting the Jaguars to win, and if you've done that in the last 7 years, you're dumb. And so I was dumb, and I expected us to win because Andrew Luck wasn't playing, and their roster was terrible, and they're going to play this 40-year-old quarterback. How do you not win? Well, they showed us. They showed us again on Sunday. How do you not win? They're missing their number one receiver. They're missing their number one run threat. Weren't they missing a piece of their offensive line? I know it was injured.
And they were also missing their defensive end.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
But guess what?
Coming out with that W, San Diego did.
They came out with that W the second they snapped their first play. We were not in that game from the moment it started.
No, it was 28-0 before we even knew what happened.
Yeah, wasn't that the half score, or was it 35-0? I'm not sure.
It was 35.5, right?
Well,
no, that was the beginning of fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was beginning of fourth.
35-0 at the beginning of fourth quarter.
28-0 at halftime because everybody was mad because we had the ball at the end of the first half, and they pretty much just killed the clock and went to their locker room.
Yeah,
and
no chance, no nothing.
Yeah, but the thought was
They
you
will
score
get-
there, you get the ball back at the end of at the beginning of the second half. You get back in the game. But they didn't even. They were ready to go home the second they showed up.
You were like, no, we're good. That was just horrible.
So the Jaguars started 0-2 for the fourth time in 5 seasons.
Yeah, feels familiar.
Yeah, it definitely does.
I want to do something challenging. Give me a positive from San Diego.
Well, we found out Malik Jackson is our best pass rusher.
That's debatable.
That's definitely debatable. Especially
Well, he's the only one that's going. He's the only one they're sending.
Positive from San Diego. Mercedes is still a Mercedes.
Mercedes still exists, and somehow he's hit his he got his groove back.
Yeah,
Good for him.
He's doing what he does.
I got 2.
Ageless wonder.
I got 2.
Oh, this should be good.
One of them, we have some semblance of a pass rush that showed up.
Yes, we did.
That's very true.
I'm very glad that Dante got his first sack, but I'm really excited about what Unique Ngakoue did out there.
That was very, very impressive.
Because he gave us a game-changing play on top of his other sack later. So that's awesome that you saw signs of life from the pass rush.
And that's what we really needed to see, honestly.
Anything. Just give me anything.
Because we hadn't seen a pass rush, and since you guys know, I was probably before I was even watching, really paying attention to football.
You want to know?
It's been a while. Paul Spicer had 1 year in the Jack Del Rio era.
Reggie Hayward for a little bit.
Reggie Hayward, kind of.
He wasn't bad. He did pretty well.
I guess it was pretty good. I guess you're right. Okay, and my other positive is that we are in serious hot seat mode, and we are looking at possibly getting rid of Gus Bradley finally. And that sounds like a sarcastic positive, but it's a very big positive. Me and Jason were talking about it on, was it Monday?
Yeah.
On Monday, we're it's almost like you're cheering on the retching so you can purge your system and then you're not sick anymore because it's out of your system.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
exactly
it's
what he said.
essentially there. Yeah, I mean, 2 more losses. I mean, God, he's gone. Even maybe 1.
But he might not be. Isn't that crazy?
I just don't.
In year 4.
Yeah, that's
It's crazy.
Historically bad.
Oh, it's historically bad. Only Burt Bell has a.
I don't even know who that guy
20%
is.
Exactly.
Well, I think
he
it
was the Philadelphia Eagles
coach
and the owner. He was a founder
so,
of the team.
So he couldn't get fired.
He's older than my papa. My papa's dead.
He was definitely older.
But I mean, it's crazy.
So fired himself.
Through 50 games, I think was it 13 wins, 12, 13,
Something like that, yeah.
12 or 13. I mean, it's just mind blowing.
Us 12.
Still
yeah,
at 12.
12.
Yep.
Which is exactly how many games we won in 2005.
Wow, that's crazy.
Ooh.
I missed the Jack Del Rio era.
That's something to say right there.
I can't believe we're talking about that right now. But it is mind blowing.
That's where we are.
It's mind blowing.
Imagine what we'll be saying when Oakland comes to town.
Oh, God.
Oh God. But another stat from that game: the Jaguars crossed midfield only 6 times and committed 3 turnovers. Blake, what is going on? You got butterfingers or something, bud?
Probably
What is
his worst
going on?
game as a Jaguar.
Yeah,
It's got to be up there if it's not the
Yeah.
top one. I can't really think. I'm
he
trying
had
to.
some bad ones in 14.
Yeah, I mean he
He
did.
definitely had some bad ones.
But it was nothing. It was nothing that horrid. I mean, I think he's only scored. I don't know the exact, but he's only scored like 1 or 2 touchdowns in like the first quarter.
3.
Three touchdowns. He
In the
hasn't,
first quarter.
Ever.
That's
he
not
hasn't
good.
done well in the first quarter.
And then it kind of builds up, and then of course the fourth quarter, where supposedly they call it trash fantasy points, whatever you want to call it, trash touchdowns, prevent defense, whatever. I mean, I don't want to believe the mumbo jumbo about Blake.
And I don't.
I don't either.
I just believe the scripted plays that we start games off with
Are
are just very uninspiring, and we start out 3 and out so many times, and we get off script, and that's when things start to roll.
Well, I don't. What kind of confused me, and this kind of touches on the defense, the play calling. You know, just I don't understand how you can. I mean, when it's 28-0 at the half, what do you do? I mean, as a head coach, I mean, I don't really. I think at that point, I mean, there was plenty of pictures. I'm sure if you guys are listening and pay attention to the Jaguars, I'm sure you saw head coach Gus Bradley with his head like leaned over.
Well, that wasn't Gus.
Or
That was Todd Walsh.
Todd Walsh.
Doppelganger.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look about the same.
He's like a more buff Gus.
But I thought I saw Gus doing it too, but maybe
They
not.
probably both were. But
But
that was the
I
one thing I
mean
was talking.
that was the picture.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just don't understand. Like what do you do?
Well, you don't allow it to get there. One, that's coaching. The aspect is you shouldn't allow it to get there.
There's
But
too many glaring things.
way
with
too many
coaching
glaring things. Coaching
that
is
it has to come down to coaching. You can blame the players for jumping off sides,
right.
but I mean, like on the college level, when your squad is false starting all the time and jumping off sides all the time, who do you blame? Do you blame those college kids, or do you blame the coaching staff for not preparing them?
I always blame the coaching stuff.
And
9
yes,
out of 10.
yes, these guys are professionals. Yes, they're paid a lot of money. Blah, 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 blah. But they're not a well-prepared team.
Yep.
They're just not.
No.
No. Not very organized.
And I just watched
Not very disciplined.
the Patriots win with their 3rd-string quarterback. We're about to watch the Patriots win with their 4th-string quarterback, who is also a wide receiver.
Yep.
I
That's
can
going to happen.
almost guarantee it's going to happen.
It probably will.
It's going to happen.
And Belichick's just going to do it just to put
Just
the middle
to-
finger up to everybody.
Just to shame Rex Ryan and get him fired.
That will do it.
I guess to expand on it, what happened to the defense, the run defense that was supposed to be heavy to stop the run.
That's a
that allowed
good point. Our run defense is
that allowed-
all the way to Buffalo.
100.
It's against a team that really. Okay, Melvin Gordon got his first touchdown 2 weeks ago. Congratulations.
He also got his first 100-yard game against us.
Yeah, so I'm not pretending like we gave up a good game to a good running back.
I know.
There's
really
no
did.
good excuse
No,
for what happened.
absolutely not. It's horrible. And coming from a coach that's supposedly defensive minded, it almost screams, what the heck?
What progress have you seen since 2013?
Exactly.
Straight up, what progress have you seen?
On defense, nothing.
Period.
Well, I mean, we I don't know if it was Olsen or Gus last year, but
There was a spike in deep balls last year.
yeah. And
But as far as like a functional offense, that
It's still clunky. I don't care.
it's
how you put it.
very clunky.
yeah, I mean it is, but I mean there has to be something to be said for having 2,000-yard wide receivers, whether it's garbage touchdowns, whether it's
It's not. It's not garbage time though.
You can't chalk up 2,000-yard wide receivers to the fourth quarter. No,
Right,
I don't buy it.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give you that one.
But I don't know. I'm at a loss, guys.
No, that defense is something needs to get done with it. I don't know if it's the rotations going back and forth, how they're trying to figure out how they're doing the Malik, the substitutions, put it in day, going back and forth.
Boy, that was awkward.
And
that was very
listen
weird.
to Malik Jackson try to explain why he's not out there
After
at the
you-
beginning of the second half.
after Justin pointed out a little bit ago that there was probably a 20-minute lull, including the halftime and before the half when Blake Bortles was out there on the field. It was 20 minutes. He wasn't winded. And I was also under the impression that Malik and Sen were supposed to be the
package.
rotating people. Why did Sheldon Day in Malik's spot, anyways?
Well, I mean, I want to get Sheldon Day on the field because I think he's going to be really good for us.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It just
Figure something
It
out.
just doesn't seem right. I mean, I don't know.
The whole combination doesn't really seem right. But I agree with Justin. I do want to see Sheldon Day out there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he's going to be really good. But the fact you take Malik out for a whole half, or at least from what I could see, he was out for a whole half.
no, he was back in. He wasn't in on the opening drive, and he was back in.
Well, he came out. He came at a few points in
yeah,
substitution.
he was the rotational guy.
But that's
that
what,
ain't
that's
how
what I'm
it
saying.
works.
I mean, as like a starter.
Yeah,
It's
that,
what I'm
that
saying.
that's
He's
what
a
I was
damn
trying to
$90
get.
million rotation player.
I know
That
it
makes
doesn't-
no sense.
It doesn't make any sense, right? And okay, moving on from the defense, we know there's some major issues. Okay, let's just take a look at the offense. Okay, what happened to the deep ball? I think we threw it down the field twice.
How many times did we target our Pro Bowl wide receiver?
In the first half, once.
Once in the first half. That's dumb.
That's beyond dumb.
We've been debating back and forth about.
Did we switch offensive coordinators this year?
It feels like Jed Fish snuck back into our locker room.
That's exactly what he said.
It feels like 2013.
It truly does. And those, I understand the screens because we couldn't establish the run. We had to do something, and I don't like the screens personally, but I know what they're there for.
You also don't like run plays, though.
I love run plays when they work.
Well,
That's the
yeah.
key
Well,
word.
Yeah.
I loved run plays in like 2007, 2006. Honestly,
Your idea.
the sweet spot was 2006 when we had
Jonas Drew and
rookie MJD, and we had the line at its peak.
That was a really good line.
Man,
Yeah.
Pretty fair line.
That's when I started hating Jack Del Rio. Was when he took that 2006 team and they went 8-8. And God, I would kill for 8-8 right now.
I know it's crazy,
Oh,
right?
Man, dude,
I
8-8. What's
I
it
would
like?
murder
again?
a distant relative for 8-8 right now.
Oh yeah, I got a few I could take out of the
Yeah.
game. Yep. Right there with you, bro.
There's some assholes in my family.
Yep.
They're asking for
Oh,
it.
I know a few on my dad's side.
Wow, that's fire.
The football gods are asking for blood. I can't stop it.
If that's what it takes, I mean, we're Jaguar fans. We need it.
But yeah, I mean, the screens are gonna happen. If you can't force the run, you're gonna have screens. But God bless, they were rough.
I mean, yeah, there are teams that do screens and they're effective. I watch the Patriots these days.
Exactly.
They don't throw downfield.
No, I don't
Half
think.
the time they stay within the 10-15 yard range.
But what was getting me is it felt like watching TJ Yeldon going backwards because it was happening in real life.
He ended up with a net 10 yards, so I don't know what you're talking about.
After 10 screens, I think. I don't know.
8 catches, 10 yards.
Okay,
That math don't work good.
So there were probably some negative ones.
Oh, absolutely. And the one play that he had like a seriously good game was 3rd and 17 or something. It was the one time because they were giving up a fair amount of space for the sake of not giving up the big play.
Oh yeah.
So okay, yeah, we got enough yards to where he didn't have negative receiving yards.
Because they were giving a lot of underneath at that point.
TJ is going to look so much better when Chris Ivory is 100%.
God bless. I hope so.
Yeah.
I really hope so.
Look at that here.
Because you look at TJ in like his first half runs.
Right.
He looks so much sharper, so much more powerful, and then as the game goes on, it clearly
you definitely
wears
see
on
a
him.
difference. I don't think that has to do with him being at Alabama. He was definitely an interchangeable back. He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have like a whole barnyard full of them.
Yeah, they have like 3 or 4 backs over there.
And they
constantly interchange them.
They probably redshirt like a dozen too, I imagine.
How is it that the whole like Pro Bowl isn't just Alabama? Because like it
Running
seems
backs.
on the
It
college
seems like
level, it seems like no offensive linemen because
Oh.
like it's plug and play running backs over there. And, Mark Ingram, Eddie Lacy,
This is
TJ
true.
Yeldon, Derek Harvey have all launched very high draft pick careers into the NFL.
I feel like I forgot another one. Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I said Derek Henry.
Oh,
He did.
gotcha.
There's so many of them.
Mark Ingram.
I said Mark Ingram.
God dang.
Okay.
Mark Ingram.
You say Eddie Lacy?
Yeah, he counts twice.
Oh.
Get it? It's a fat joke. So many running backs.
It's
How many starting NFL offensive linemen does the Tide have?
I can imagine. It's got
Somebody
to
asked JP Shadrack.
Yeah, JP would know that. I
Be
mean,
all over it.
he's rolling that one. He's rolling the Tide deep.
One other thing that I think we all discussed before we started the show was I just want to bring this question out once again. That play where Paul Posluszny was on one of the second fastest wide receiver in the NFL, I believe. I might not be exaggerating or not. I don't know, but
He's the fastest receiver in that game by far.
it doesn't match up, right?
It's a terrible idea.
What was Gus's explanation on that one?
Gus didn't have an explanation, but
Was it Todd?
Todd Wash
Yeah.
defended the play call, and I can't agree. So basically, Todd Wash was like, it would have worked if Paul Posluszny wouldn't have been so committed to hiding the play call, because Paul Posluszny was right up on the line of scrimmage, pretending like he was going to cover a receiver, but when in actuality he was going to cover a receiver. That's a terrible idea. But even if you put Paul Posluszny back
This is ingenious.
in like the typical Mike position off the line of scrimmage, like sitting in a coverage kind of spot, he's still going to get burned.
Yeah.
Why are you scheming him to cover a wide receiver at all?
That's the people running our defense. Just think about this.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Jason
Someone
were
who
talking
can't
about,
cover anyone in defense whatsoever.
we
in
were
coverage.
playing What If earlier, and like, what if Miles Jack is in? He still might get burned on that play because you're talking about the fastest guy on the field, and you're putting a mic on him.
But he would be a heck of a lot closer.
Yeah.
Because
what I'm saying,
he did stick with Nelson Aguilar. Hook and T. going up and down the field when they played when they were UCLA and USC.
Oh yeah.
Nelson Aguilar is a pretty daggone good receiver.
It's still a losing formula.
Yeah, it's not. Why don't? Okay,
I'm not saying it is.
why don't they play
promoting this
nickel?
formula.
That's my only thought process. Why? Like what happened to nickel? They just nope, don't want it. Not this play. I mean that.
For some reason, they can't find reasons to put Miles Jack on the field, but
I guess because they don't have a weak side linebacker. I mean, I don't know. There's multiple reasons.
I
don't know, but all right. So we've beat this second game to a bloody pulp.
Couple of little notes there for the second game.
Yep.
San Diego PD was investigating a suspicious package outside of Calquam Stadium near the trolley station on Sunday during the game.
That explains the small crowds.
It does.
Yeah.
Totally to a T.
No, I totally understand why the crowds are small.
Yeah, but still,
What was the crowd there, Jason?
The crowd was 52,165, and a stadium that seats 72 large.
In a stadium that could give you tetanus.
Yes.
Yes, the pictures that were being tweeted out by a couple of the
reporters. I know Brent texted a few out.
Brent Martineau had one that was just like...
That one, yeah, I agree. I felt like I needed a couple of shots just looking at the picture.
Yeah, it's like if you're like taking a mission trip to Africa.
Whew.
Make sure you get all your shots before you go visit the Chargers.
Pretty much. I hope all of our guys did go.
Yeah,
maybe that's what's wrong with them.
Yeah, maybe they didn't go. Maybe they went out there and they forgot to get a tetanus shot. I don't know. This is a good one to wrap up. To wrap up this segment, sweep the corners, guys.
Yeah, make sure sweep the corners. Hopefully, Gus is doing that. He knows how to sweep the corners when he's sweeping out of his office.
Very good.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers, though.
There we go.
There you go.
You didn't get the satisfaction when I cheered with Clay because he's got a plastic cup.
Oh, man. All right. Around the NFL, I read about this the other day. It was great. Major fines for the Seahawks. The team was fined $400,000 and will get to forfeit a week of OTAs. And plus a 2017 fifth rounder. Pete Carroll fined $200,000. But
that sucks for them.
But
for what?
For going a little too hard in the paint, and
apparently they fell into each other. They had a collision during OTAs,
and they're not allowed to rough them up.
But from the understanding I had, they actually had a collision in OTAs. That's all they had. It was a collision.
So is the players' union pushing this through?
Not 100%, but I believe so. So don't quote me on that one.
I missed the story completely.
It was
all shocking.
It was the players' union got wind of it, but it was the NFL that basically reeled that one in.
When there's like I don't even think there was an injury or nothing.
No,
but I know whenever there's like an injury in those OTAs and training camps, immediately they rush on in to see if there's as far
as I know, there wasn't
an extra punch or push.
I could be wrong, could be mistaken, because obviously it's been a few months now.
Yeah.
But that's a decent little.
Yeah, but
I think they got Cam and they got Richard Sherman at the fifth pick.
Yeah, and
I'm jealous.
I am. Yeah.
But another little side note, I guess the players have decided to pull their money together. I mean, the lowly players and pay Pete Carroll's fine of $200K. So that's sweet of them.
That's cute.
Hopefully they don't go broke.
I know, right?
They do make more than Pete.
So. Yeah, I think that's why they did it. To be honest,
there's some breaking news.
Yeah,
this is as of today.
A little Buccaneers place apparently has parted ways with tight end Austin Safari Jenkins after not only his first DUI arrest but his second DUI arrest. And there's a little. I don't know much about. I've never drank and drive. All right, so I don't know about this. But I guess you could disconnect your blower
breathalyzer
to start your car.
Oh, really?
Yes. So when he got
So he actually already had a blower in the car?
yeah, from 2013 incident.
Wow.
Jeez.
And so
I thought your car wouldn't even start if you.
I thought
I don't know this because I've never had a DUI.
I've never had DUI. Thank God. Wood right here.
You just, if during the day you just go to Home Depot
And
just
knock a little wood.
Use hire a manual labor worker to blow into it for you, and then you get going.
Yeah,
Problem
see,
solved.
there you go.
I guess that's why he was out till 4 o'clock in the morning waiting for that sober person.
Just waiting for that. Yeah.
Okay, it makes sense. All right, which is kind of a suck piece because I mean he was a second round draft pick and he never really materialized.
Yeah, he unfortunately didn't. I mean,
There's a lot of those in Tampa.
yeah, that's usually the case.
You know, Relais Benz and your Josh Freemans.
Ooh, Josh Freeman. That name scares me right now because he looked really good in that one. What was it? 10, 11?
Oh man, you want something?
9 or
ominous?
10? He had 35 touchdowns or 34 touchdowns
That's crazy.
You want some ominous
And then-
statistics?
off the face of the earth.
Gosh.
Count Caleb, one of my favorite Twitter follows. A long time ago, he brought up this thing about what's that terrifying man that our offensive coordinator who looks like a serial killer? What's his name? Greg Olson.
Okay.
So like the first year stats versus the second year stats for every player that he's coached, it's like that first year, hey, that's really good, and then the second year is just every player.
Every player?
Yeah.
Good. Wasn't he? Didn't he do Drew Brees?
I don't think he was around long enough for that one.
I heard someone say something about that, but I don't remember him, man.
But Josh Freeman had a very successful first year, and his second year, it just fell off a cliff.
Well, while you're looking that up, I'm gonna touch on.
He was what he had 3,000 yard passing seasons,
Dang, that's not too bad.
and he actually had a 4,000 yard passing season.
So under Greg Olson,
And then then it was 400.
400. That couldn't be a whole season. That's just like 2 or 3 games,
Oh yeah,
maybe
I'm
6.
sure. Yeah, it was a few.
I think under Greg Olson, it went 22 and 20. Let's see, 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions under Greg Olson's first year, and then it went 16 touchdowns, 22 interceptions the next year.
Yep.
Wow.
27 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, and then he was out of a starting lineup from there.
Yep. Pretty bad. His passer rating went down the
I think he
crapper,
was
too.
in St. Louis before that, and it was a similar situation. And
Because didn't he have Bradford? No, he had who was before that? He had someone before that, obviously.
but Blake's
but
on
that's-
track right now for the same kind of
Don't,
Same drop off.
don't,
I don't want it to be
no,
real
no,
because
no.
I love Blake Bortles.
I didn't think about that. That's interesting.
I want
stat.
Blake Bortles to be good.
I wonder what his record is with Derek Carr. How long was he out there with Derek Carr? 1 year or 2 years?
Ooh, I don't know.
Because I know.
He was only out there 1 year.
Oh, okay, so he didn't get to.
I know the last
Shaft
time
him.
before
I'm pretty sure it was one.
Thursday
Maybe
night, the last time the Texans had gotten swept was by the Jaguars in 2003.
Huh.
The next
Interesting.
throwback to the Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, it was. The NFL Thursday night on Twitter is booing for the second straight week in a row. Clay, do you have any stats on that one?
Don't have the stats offhand, but from what I'm saying, it's
It just murdered
they're
the
basically
ratings.
it's murdering the ratings compared to what they've got on CBS and all the rest of it.
Well, because I know from us personally, we're usually podcasting during that time, and we can watch it personal right next to us, or at our table where we do our podcasting. I mean, it's very much more convenient.
And I think
yeah.
the obvious answer is that America loves watching J.J. Watt fail. That's why the ratings are up.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
He had like one tackle.
Well, I mean, one of the stats had more than 2 million viewers.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's not bad for a Thursday night game.
Just like Twitter viewers.
Just
peeking-
Twitter viewers.
Peeking on the sideline, seeing if J.J. has his Letterman jacket on.
Yeah.
Seeing if he lets out a tear.
He didn't though last night.
Not yet.
That's coming soon when they lose their playoff game to the Chiefs. I'm calling it.
And now there's supposedly going to be talk that they're going to be working on trying to get the Super Bowl.
Houston?
No, well, they've already got the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but on Twitter.
That was Twitter.
Super Bowl on Twitter? Oh, that's going to destroy the servers.
Yes, that's going to be...
Well, so far, I mean, mine was a little delayed yesterday, but I think if I just hit restart...
Right, that's the same issue. I mean,
sometimes, we were watching it right next to each other, and sometimes you were, like, a little bit ahead of me, and sometimes I was a little bit ahead of you. It just kind of depended, because you'd leave the app and go back into it all the time. That's why.
Yeah, so, I mean...
But it's not bad.
Yeah, and I like it, to be honest. I mean, I'd almost be willing to pay $5 a month if they wanted to stream.
Whew, don't give them any ideas now. Come on.
Don't give the NFL revenue stream ideas.
No.
Well, I'm just saying because I would like to watch more. I would like to have more options to watch out of
market.
Yeah, out of market. I was want to say out of district.
So you just want basically more games on Twitter that you can see here.
Yeah.
Like more than the Thursday night game.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. And I'm not in line. I would be willing to pay a small, nominal fee.
Well, here you go. Here's something. Twitter is reportedly also in talks with Apple to bring its app and the NFL to Apple TV.
Mm-hmm. Which would be kind of an exclusive thing because it's not going to Roku, and I don't know if it's even going to go to the Xbox and PlayStations of the world. Amazon's kind of on the bottom of that list anyways. So
right.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's another podcast talking about.
Oh yeah, so
Apple's corner on exclusive deals.
Well, we can't talk about that with some people. So. As some people have learned. But it seems like Twitter's definitely got their focus on sports, which is really good for most people.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it.
I mean, apparently it's said 95% of their programming is sports, but they've tried live streaming.
One problem I've noticed with the NFL is at some point Twitter might have no quarterbacks to show in any of these games because of the quarterback genocide that's sweeping our nation. Why aren't we talking about this injustice?
It is a pretty bad genocide.
The running quarterback is the new pocket passer. Or the dead pocket passer.
It doesn't matter what kind of quarterback you are dead meat. Tony Romo's pretty much a statue. He's out. Dak Prescott, he's out. Brisket, he's out. Garoppolo, he's out. Tom Brady's out because he's a cheater. Who else is out that's injured already? Teddy Bridgewater, he's out.
Wow, what's the other guys in the Browns territory? Josh McCown's out.
Yeah. Well,
Robert
Griffin the third before him.
I think they're already on their third quarterback, and it's only week 3. That's pretty depressing. Talk about being a Browns fan.
Jeez Louise.
I'm sure LA is going to be on theirs shortly.
Oh yeah.
God, it's so bad.
It is.
I might start the Bucks defense even after that savage beatdown they took.
Because get some character.
Because their defense is playing the Rams, and that could be really big for me in fantasy.
I love you gotta love Jaguar fans whenever they have to correlate real life with fantasy football just to feel like we're part of it.
That's the way it's staying engaged. So I'm counting 7 starting quarterbacks, 8 if you count Case Keenum may be legally dead already.
He's probably close.
It's hard to tell.
He got a pretty bad beating for that first week.
I mean, yeah, but you can't prove that he's alive based on play.
No.
So you got 8 starting quarterbacks that have been knocked out of playing already.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's not much better for running backs.
Yeah, someone may need to check on Osweiler.
Oh man, I'm so glad that's blowing up in their face.
$72 million sucks.
I'm not gonna get to enjoy it though because I'm a friggin' Jaguars fan.
I don't know. I truly do not know. He was that bad.
He was very bad.
Don't worry, they've got the anchor to that ship for a minute with that price.
Yeah, they got that around their neck for a while.
Yeah,
At least 3 years, right? 'Cause I think he signed a 5-year deal.
I think you have to at least hold on to him for 2.
Yeah, at least 2 or 3, somewhere in there.
I think that's the minimum is 2 years, so they have to let it play out this year.
Right.
And they have to let it play out next year.
And
It's
they
great.
kind of, financially they have to let it play out next year.
So, all right, well, let's look at some league injuries.
Some serious ones. What?
Yeah, there's some
who are the
pretty
running
bad
backs?
injuries.
Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson, he has a torn meniscus. That's a shame.
Yeah, they thought it was bad, and then they realized it was really bad.
Yeah.
So,
Because it looks like he's going to be out now for...
And the running back that the Jaguars played against out there in San Diego.
Yeah, he's...
Woodhead.
Danny Woodhead has a torn...
Slipped my head at the moment.
Arian Foster, surprise.
Danny Woodhead has a torn ACL in a non-contact play with linebacker Telvin Smith of the Jaguars. But it's a non-contact play.
Chris Ivory had the mystery. The mystery injury.
Jimmy Garoppolo suffered a sprained AC joint. Doesn't really matter because the Patriots are going to be Patriots. I mean,
it's unreal.
Jacoby Brissett torn thumb ligament.
Yeah, that's part of our quarterback genocide.
Yeah, that we just talked about.
Oh yeah, Jay Cutler. Yeah.
Okay, Doug Martin. I forgot about Doug Martin.
We forgot about Jay Cutler too. He's pretty much dead.
Doesn't count.
Wow.
Well, that's pretty
Wow. You just linked them up to Robert Griffin III. And or Case Keenum.
But Doug
Houston.
Martin, big.
Huh?
Yeah, Lamar Houston, Doug Martin in
Doug
Tampa,
Martin, yep.
Amir Abdullah in Detroit.
Oh yeah,
Amir Abdullah,
I should have realized about Amir Abdullah. He's on my fantasy team dead.
Is he on your IR spot?
No, he's not.
Bro, move him to your IR spot.
I wasn't allowed to in my other league.
Why?
Because my boss makes up these stupid rules. They got to be on IR for the rest of the season, and he could possibly come back at like week 12. I'm gonna keep him for 10 weeks. No, I'm not. But moving on, there was a few up more. Left tackle for the Jags, Kelvin Beachum. That was really crazy. I know just because we're Jaguar fans, and I believe San Diego Chargers fans were like, you could see the horror on.
I thought you just saw somebody die on the field.
Yeah,
it was that kind of thing.
The way he just hit the turf, it was just. You know, it's pretty bad when they immediately get the little card over, and both the teams' doctors are already looking at him.
Yeah, whenever I saw a little bolt signals out there,
both sidelines are over there.
Yeah, whenever I saw the bolt jackets out there, I was like, "Oh shoot!"
Yeah, that's just not good. Period.
But
of course, Woodhead, like we just discussed a second ago, he's out ACL for the season. Cam Irving had to be taken to the hospital after experiencing cramps and chest discomfort.
That's weird.
With the ribs. So.
This whole section could be injuries the Chargers got during the game with us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because
back and forth.
Yeah, it was like the Del Rio area when we would maybe not necessarily win, but we would just beat the hell out of a team.
I miss those days.
Body bag games.
Yeah.
It's a weird pride of destroying a team even if you lose.
That's what I like about Del Rio's / Smitty's defenses.
Oh yeah, Smitty.
Next coach, maybe.
No.
Not the best option, but I'd take him in a heartbeat right now.
No,
I take him.
I know. Save this for another time, but I'm gonna throw my coach on there. I want Josh McDaniels.
All right, I'm fine with that.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's really not bad at all.
It's not.
I mean, it would be like our first offensive coach, right?
No.
Tom Coughlin. I thought he was defensive.
No,
he wasn't. Offensive. Oh wow, his defense is really good.
Breaking news.
This offensive-minded coach that he's talking about is the kind of offensive-minded coach that would kick a field goal on 4th and inches inside the 20-yard line. That's the kind of offensive-minded coach we had. So I would argue we have not had an offensive-minded coach.
Well, and
I didn't say how offensive he was. But think about it. On the Giants teams, you had an offensive coordinator, you had a defensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator was Tom.
Okay,
The defensive coordinator was Bill Belichick.
Wow.
Now drink to that one.
I know, right? That's crazy. I'm almost lost for words there. Like, how do you get those two kind of coaches together on one team?
Bill
did it, and they barely won a Super Bowl doing that.
Big Tuna did.
Yep, Big Tuna did, and
they're that good of a coaching staff, and they barely won a Super Bowl. Yeah, they had to pray for a missed field goal.
That's crazy. I think I remember that one.
The NFL is just dumb, right?
It is
so dumb.
All right, I guess we can wrap up that. Sorry, injury riddled.
Yeah, it's pretty layered.
But moving on, right?
Yeah,
I guess we can.
We have to.
We have to
move forward. Keep trucking.
How do y'all feel about the Ravens game?
Ravens Jacks, week 3.
Feel good?
I feel better now after talking out a couple hundred times with just random people on the street, random people inside the store. Just
random people.
Yeah.
I
random people inside 7-Eleven. You know, they're like, you know the Jags really suck. Why are you wearing Jaguar gear? I'm like, because I love the Jags.
I get that. I mean, I get that all the time.
You know,
it's mid-season.
I know.
It's week 3. I'm already getting it.
I know. I got it just the other day. I was pumping gas in my car, and some guy goes over. He goes, "Why are you wearing that trash?" I was like,
I can't help it. That is, I say that at least 5 times a week when I'm talking to people at my job, because the Jaguars always come up because I have to bring. It just happens. I always say I just can't help it.
I just say I'm a Damascus.
Well, I mean, it's part of who we are as Duvalians, I guess you could say, or
Jacksonvillians.
Yeah, Jacksonvillians.
I think Jackson's is what we decided on, and I'm good with Jackson.
Okay, Jackson's. I'll take it.
Rolls off the tongue.
No, okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was Jacksonvillians, but all right.
All right, whatever. I mean, but collectively, we that's what we are. We are the Jags, so we gotta love them.
Well, I mean, that's all we got.
Yeah, that's all we got.
It's like
we're not like we're 3 horse down or something.
Yeah,
it's like that screw up in your family.
I mean,
they're still family.
Oh,
yeah, and you still gotta invite them to the family reunion, whether you want to or not.
Yeah, I love them. They're family.
I mean,
yeah, they're family.
They are kin to me.
That's what
they are kin. It's sad, but it's the truth. I think everyone actually has one of those in their family. I'm not naming mine, of course.
So this is a win, or I guess the playoff hopes are dashed. I mean, if there is any chance.
I have 0 playoff hopes.
Wow.
Well, I can't.
I'm not saying.
Go for it.
I'm not saying necessarily a playoff, but I mean, if there is any possibility of a playoff.
Yeah, they have to win. They have to win this game
because you're not going to go to a playoffs at 0-3
statistically.
Yes, I think so. I think it's just drops substantially.
What were your playoff hopes preseason?
They were pretty fair.
I think they were 9-7, right?
Yeah.
I think Clay and I had the same. I think I had 8-8 or 9-7.
That seemed like a real possibility.
And that's the highest I've gone in a while.
That seems like a possibility for the playoffs in the AFC South for sure.
Yeah, especially watching.
Because I kept it 8-8, 9-7.
Especially watching the way the Texans, who will probably end up winning this lowly AFC South
by default.
Yep.
They are going to lose. They practically have to lose their first playoff game because they're not that great. If they don't do something out there, but except fail.
Unless something bizarre happens, like a We Are Marshall situation.
Yeah.
Where whatever AFC North team is coming to play them loses all their players.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We are Marshall.
Or in a similar situation where the Bengals go to play them. That's like the only way they win a playoff game.
Yeah, because the Bengals don't win. Because
the Bengals are not allowed to win playoff games.
The last time the Bengals won, they beat the Houston Oilers. So
that makes sense then.
It does.
That's how you break the curse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go back to Houston.
Is Gus going to stay the course because he's stubborn, or is he going to try to flip the script a little bit?
He's going to sweep the corners. I think that's That's the clearest answer we can give, right?
And that makes perfectly logical
that makes sense because that means something.
It does.
Sweep the corners because let the center take care of itself.
Okay, so those that are listening right now, we're doing this thing called sarcasm because what he said makes it means nothing and it does nothing. Let's sweep the corners.
Him and Todd had some excellent quotes this week.
They speak in riddles. Our coaches do.
They've gotten worse. I think they've just run out of things to say.
I think so too.
And I think it's usually those two.
Olsen doesn't.
Olsen only has a few.
Yeah,
he's got a few, but
not nearly as bad.
Gus is.
They don't put him on the mic as much to explain himself.
I noticed that. Don't you too? Huh? All right.
This is very.
I think
it's very peculiar.
I think if you look at things that need to be changed and say, what is the definition of insanity? Repeating over and over again, expecting different results. We want to make sure we're not doing that.
50 games in.
That's a good quote.
That's
50 games in.
That's solid right there.
Quote, if the loss takes us to better places, then at least we can hang our hat on that. I challenge you to find deeper meaning in that quote.
There's gotta be something. You cannot read something like that and take it at face value. You cannot.
If we learn from our mistakes, then we will have learned from our mistakes, says Gus Bradley. We'll be proud that we learn from our mistakes if we learn from our mistakes.
This is like...
He's got to be drunk off his ass.
This has got to be Confucius. Gus Bradley is Confucius.
Yes.
Something, yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying.
Ghetto-ass Confucius.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got to be down a fifth when he's talking to the media.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what else to say.
Wow.
Who's picking us to win on Sunday?
I'm not.
Wow. For the first time in a long time, I am at a loss for words. I want to, but I'm not either.
Well, obviously we want to.
I'm not either. Which is crazy because the whole...
I picked the Green Bay game, but I can't pick this one.
I think because Jaguars, we win this one.
Shit, I had the damn score damn near right on that one. But this one, I can't.
Well, okay.
I just can't do it.
We've won so oddly the last two times we played against them, so I can honestly see it happening, but it will be in spite of what Gus does. If we win, it will be in spite of what Gus does.
Oh yeah, obviously. I mean, that's usually how those things transpire.
It would be a sheer will of talent if we win.
We'll prevail.
Do you think we are all across the board a more talented team than the Ravens now that they're healthy?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Well, they still have a gimpy Steve Smith, and Steve Smith.
Is he their best receiver?
No, I don't think so, but I think he's still dang good.
Well, they have Mike Wallace, man. If you want
They
to
got Mike Wallace.
Man, so they
He could wreck us.
so
Deep
throw
threat.
him on a 9 route. I mean,
Yeah, deep threats are going to wreck us, dude. They could. They very well could.
and you could see him going all the way from here to Savannah, all day Sunday, all day Sunday.
Yeah. And I think they had a rookie that they drafted last year. Not a rookie anymore, obviously, but
The kid from Central Florida.
he didn't get to play.
Mike Sims Walker.
Close.
Yeah,
It's something like that.
That may be him.
It's something like that. Part of me says we win because Jaguars. Not like in an exciting way, but
Just because.
this is the kind of game we would win to string us along for a couple more weeks.
No, I can see that.
But I don't think we do win.
Just a couple more little points. What do you guys think about the Audric outbursts in San Diego? Do you think it means anything? Do you think? I mean, I remember reading some tweets about it. He said it was a culmination of things. I guess in Qualcomm Stadium they don't have a MRI machine, and when he went out for his elbow. Mm-hmm. They told him to go get an MRI done in the stadium, and they don't have an MRI machine, so he sat there for 20 minutes. That was one of them.
Well, the stadium's older than all of us.
So, but I don't understand how you can't afford an MRI machine if that's industry standard.
You're still a pro football team.
Well, I mean,
I know this.
Well, Spanos has been known to be a little on the cheaper side.
Yeah, that's why he lost the LA battle.
Whew.
Anyhow,
but I mean, do you think that starts anything? I mean,
well, he was noticeably yelling at Gus.
You even said something like you think that, I don't know if it was a tweet or you just thought it in your head, that you felt like they might trade Oderick before the trade deadline because he might be a little cancer piece.
Whenever you've got a guy who becomes a locker room problem, you do that. Like, remember when Jack Del Rio turned his back on Mike Peterson.
Oh, Mike Pete.
And Mike Peterson made a play. I can't remember what game it was, but then he flexed his muscles, and then from then on, Jack Del Rio put him permanently in the doghouse. And the only time Mike Peterson found the field after that was on special teams, and then they cut him the next year.
It was dumb.
To send a locker room message. This was like dire straits for Jack Del Rio, because at the time, there was a talk of, moving on from Del Rio. So, it's a similar situation. I think I don't have anything solid to prove it, but I think Gus is losing the locker room based on that, plus listening to Malik Jackson when he's explaining why he was benched coming out of the second half, and he's like, that's what they want to do.
It's pretty obvious with the way he blew up, and Mercedes, and who else was it?
Dante Fowler.
Yeah, Dante, you're right. Yeah, Dante Fowler basically had to run control because he was going for Gus. I'm not sure what went on between, but he wanted to have a little conversation with Gus, and it was not going to be a calm one.
Unfortunately, they had Malik Jackson mic'd up and not Jared Odrick, because
that was fantastic.
But it had to be a lot of it explicit. So either it would be very short on the Dunkin' Donuts little segment, or it would be a lot of beeps. Either one.
We would have never heard of it.
I know, right?
I'd love to know what the deal is, though.
Me too.
I've just seen it when teams have started having. When we saw it with Jack, we've seen it before. I even remember it with Tom.
Yeah, look,
you could see it on the sideline when the locker room is starting to go, and they have been starch behind Gus for a long time. But you can see it on the sidelines when it started to slowly deteriorate.
I just want to point something out. Malik Jackson, essentially 2 games in and 3 preseason games in, and it's already started with him. And that to me, if he's being that vague in that interview that we all listened to, that's a little concerning.
Yeah, and he's coming from a coaching staff that, like, you have players like Telvin, who all they know is the Gus Bradley era. They only know Gus Bradley as their coach. There's a lot of guys like that on the team. Where you got, like, the places where it seems like it's breaking is guys like Odrick, who was a free agent, came from somewhere else. Malik Jackson already sounds like he's a dissenting voice based on that interview. And he's coming from a different locker room.
But it begs the question, though, right?
Yeah. How bought in is this locker room? I don't know.
I don't know either. I think we all said Gus is a nice guy.
Very nice.
Nice guys finish last a lot of times.
If we win, if we win this weekend, does it change anything about your perspective?
I think it just prolongs the inevitable to me.
And that's a bummer, right? Like, they could 50 burger this Ravens team, and I would still feel like, yeah, but we still have a bad coach. I'd still feel that way.
Honestly, and I know this sounds like really crummy. Even if we win 8-8, I'd still want him gone because I don't feel like he's a good coach.
That's not crummy. If you have 4 years in the NFL and the best you can do is 500,
I mean, fair enough, but I mean,
he's had plenty of opportunity.
That is substantial progress. 8-8.
It's substantial progress.
But they should have been 8-8 last year.
Fair enough.
There's no excuse.
Yeah.
There is no excuse anymore. I'm tired of it. We're all tired of it.
Yeah, I guess
I was the first one to say I wanted to keep him last year.
I guess as Jaguars, though,
But with the pieces that have been brought in, with the drafted pieces, he's not even using a freaking second-round linebacker.
Which is confusing because...
Which is very versatile and multi-talented.
And someone even said...
Todd Walsh is not fit to be a defensive coordinator.
Doesn't look like it so far.
In my opinion.
I don't understand this whole... I know this podcast is about to get off the rails, people. We know. But we're going to try to restrain ourselves.
We're Jaguar fans. We can't help it.
But I just don't understand why you contain any quarterback. Why? What? In what realm does containing a quarterback even make sense when you have you have Audric, you have Malik, you have Sheldon Day, you have either Ngakoue or Dante Fowler. Why are you trying to contain anyone?
Well, simple thing. They said they were like Aaron Rodgers. They said they wanted to contain Aaron Rodgers. Okay. You saw next week what happened. Mike Zimmer set the house on him.
Yes, multiple times.
And what happened?
Obviously, their offensive line is crap.
They're Gus / Todd. However, they're playing
very scared.
Playing scared.
Very scared. Yep. It shows on offense. I don't know if it's Greg being handicapped or it's being told.
I wonder that too.
The fire I felt for the 2006 Del Rio team was surpassed last year. And he said we should have gone 8-8. Clay said we should have gone 8-8. We probably should have gone better than 8-8.
Last year?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm saying at least, but yeah.
What was the score at the beginning of the fourth quarter? Texans at Jaguars. It was 14-10.
No.
What was the final score? 31-20.
Okay, yeah.
They dropped 21 points on us in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
We had...
Defense.
There's one game. Then you have the game in Indy. How do you lose that game in Indy?
Tampa.
How do you lose the game in Tampa? How do you score 30 points?
Tennessee.
How do you score 39 points and lose?
But hey, he's a defensive coach.
Okay, it's not necessarily the offense that's pissing me off because I know even though we say it's clunky, we had 2,000-yard wide receivers. I know that does not come all in the fourth quarter. Impossible.
How can you not protect a 39-point lead? That's so stupid.
There you go. That is what. Okay, it's not about the offense. It's about the defense. You bring in a defensive coordinator. We expect a good defense, not a great defense. A good defense. We have seen absolute crap for 4 years. Well, 3 years. 3 years and 2 games.
I'll say we've seen crap for more than that, but yeah.
Well,
I'll give you that.
We had the Malarkey era before that.
Well, I'm counting from Gus to now.
You're talking about Gus era, and
that's what's pissing me off. I mean, I think that's pissing every Jaguar fan off.
Yeah, no, it's pissing everybody off.
We don't want to be negative Nancy's, and we hope for the best, but man, hope just took a punch to the dick last week.
Yeah, and really, and that's what it did. We had a lot of hope after week 1. We all had a lot of
yes, I think,
but I think that's what hurt a lot and really depressed a lot of people is we had so much hope, so much optimism, and then to go out to San Diego, go back out to the West Coast to basically get another gut punch and have Phillip Rivers do what he does and see that defense just.
He didn't do a damn thing the first drive.
No, that's what's.
He didn't have to.
He didn't have to. That's what, he really didn't. But the generality of it is there was nothing.
There was no there. Dude,
on both sides of the ball.
He had time. He had a lot of time to throw. I mean, obviously.
They did whatever they wanted, obviously.
Yeah,
If
on
you
both
win
sides of the ball.
38 to 14, you do whatever you want.
There was nothing.
So everything's hopeless.
It
and,
went from
kill yourself. That's where we're at right now.
I mean, not literally, but I mean, we pretty much went from
people. You do not have to worry.
No, not really.
Yeah,
not in real life.
We went from like being very positive to rolling back to 13. I just don't. The progress went totally out the window.
I countered it because I went back through and I looked at the final scores to figure out how many times has a Gus Bradley team gotten the doors just blown off. And it's at least 14 times. And that's troubling. But the troubling part is we're in year 4 and it's still happening. So, did it happen in a bunch of 2013? Yes. That was a terrible roster. Did it happen in a bunch of 14? Yes. That's a very young roster. It only happened once that I can recall in 15 against the Patriots.
Yes, I believe that's accurate.
We're in week 2. In year 4, we got we were never in the game. We got dominated in that game.
Straight worked.
Yeah.
And that is enough to know that this isn't the coaching staff for the future. This is not going to get us to. I mean, we're talking about praying for 8-8. This is not a coaching staff.
No,
this
get
us to
this is
the
not
playoffs.
going to 8-8.
This is not a coaching staff that's going to win a division. This is not a coaching staff that'll get us a Super Bowl. So stop wasting your time with it.
I'm over it.
I have to say I totally agree. I don't know. I mean, as you know, as we look at it going forward, it's gonna be a trying season.
Yeah. It is for sure. But well, some good news. We got Chris Ivory coming back.
That's something.
At least should be. He's in the questionable list along with Prince of Makamura, Lender, which I'm not really sure what's going on there. Audric, I don't know if the elbow situation. Gibson, which I didn't even notice him out there, to be honest.
Why did they get rid of Probable?
I don't know. That's aggravating.
Yes.
Why did they get rid of Probable?
I think it has something to do with betting.
It has something to do with gamesmanship.
Yeah, something like that.
Gamesmanship?
Yeah. Like when they would list Fred Taylor as probable.
Oh, yeah, when he had a groin muscle
when
ripped
his
off.
groin muscle wasn't even attached to his body.
Oh, TC.
Thanks a lot, Tom.
That was dumb. But, I mean, we definitely can use Ivory back. I mean, hopefully.
One step forward, one step backwards. If Linder's out, I am stressed about how bad Sunday's going to be.
Yeah. That one that's going to be a crap show.
Do you think we could see a little wide receiver action this game?
I mean, you hope so. We haven't since. We've got to see a breakout game.
I mean,
from either one of them, I don't really care.
One of them. Someone's got to break out.
I mean, I think the Ravens win, but when you look at the pass rush that the Ravens are bringing, it's an old pass rush.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's possible that they got time to pass against this team. I just don't know. I don't expect anything after San Diego. I expect us to just...
That's the thing I was going to touch on earlier. The Ravens, I mean, they've got some talent, but they're all older talent. The Ravens are an older team in general.
Well, they got some younger linebackers now.
Jimmy Smith's not that old.
Jimmy Smith's not on the team anymore, bud.
What?
He's with Tampa Bay.
Jimmy Smith is in Tampa?
Yeah.
They cut him? Oh, I thought he was up there too.
What in the world?
Yeah, he's playing down in Tampa Bay now.
Oh, breaking news. All right.
But that they got. I know the linebacker core is pretty young-ish. But will Jack play this game coming up?
I hope the heck he does. If he doesn't, then I give up on everything pretty much.
And are there any matchups that we can possibly exploit, or are we beyond the matchups?
I still firmly believe that the best matchup is Allen Robinson versus anybody. You just got to throw the ball to him.
I mean, none of their corners should really match up.
I thought they might have had a decent corner or something, but it's not coming to my head.
Terry Smith, I think, but I don't know. I thought they did, but trying to think who else they got there.
Balso Hart University is back on the field.
Huh?
Terrell Suggs, but how old is Terrell Suggs?
35?
Yeah,
36.
He's at least 46.
Yeah,
in football years.
In football years, he's at least grandpa.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically doing ballers most of the time.
Yeah, literally doing ballers.
All that too, but yeah, they really. I mean, a lot of the age. How old's Doomerville? He's got to be pushing 40 now.
I think he's like 36 or something like that.
Yeah.
The generality. I mean, they're not a young team.
Yeah, and
I mean at their key positions.
Yeah, and I agree.
I mean, how old's Wallace?
He's got to be at least 33, 32. Because this is his fourth spot, right?
Yeah.
I think he's younger in my head because I keep expecting.
Well, you got to think he went 3 or 4 years up in Pittsburgh when
he's
a year.
30.
He is the receiver equivalent of Jay Cutler. Where in my mind I'm like, oh, Jay Cutler's about to break out. It's the same thing with Wallace. So they're perpetually young to me because they're perpetually about to break out.
Well, I mean, Wallace, I drafted him for first year ever playing fantasy, and he only did one thing: straight up the field.
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea. I mean, that was the whole mantra behind him, was to stretch the field. So, but I mean, yeah, about Jack. Hopefully we see him, and hopefully we don't see him in the late fourth quarter when we're down by 35 points.
Like it's a college game and you just got buried.
Yeah, you're just gonna put in some of your scout team and some of your backups and get him some reps. So I don't know. Hopefully we get to see Jack. Hopefully we get to see they do a more solid matchups. I mean, I want to see Morrison. I want to see Malik out there more, obviously.
Yeah, I want to see that heavy package with Malik, Ensign, and Dante.
And Unique.
Yeah.
That's a good pass rush package.
Yeah, that should legitimately break bones, that package.
And, I mean, if things get bad enough, maybe we can get a package where, Audric is after Gus.
Yep.
I like it.
A package where it just involves Jared Audric strangle holding Gus Bradley on the sideline.
I mean, hey, we paid the ticket, so it's there for entertainment.
Yeah, give me a
good show.
Yeah, let's have Jared Audric DDT Gus Bradley on the sidelines. I'll be into it.
I mean, we got the biggest boards in the world, so let's show them. We can do like a pause, a rotational, 3 different views.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
I don't care if it's a submission. Give me a sharpshooter. Put him in a sharpshooter.
I'd be fine with that. Yeah, hell, you could do a DDT and take out Walsh while he's at it.
Mm-hmm.
Have a figure 4 lock and then have him in a headlock.
Why were finishing moves so bad for the older guys? Like Macho Man Randy Savage. This is important stuff.
It's very key
stuff. So let's get into this. Why is Macho Man Randy Savage diving off of the top rope for an elbow drop, which is a move that every wrestler does? That's his finisher.
Oh, yeah.
Hulk Hogan's finisher move, a leg drop. Really? That's the devastating move that ends you?
And what gets me, too, is that leg drop after, 30 years, after everyone's doing these other moves, the pedigree, the sharpshooter, all these other power bombs.
Sharpshooter is a proven winner.
It is. It's solid. What I'm saying is, you've got these more elaborate moves. Don't worry. Hulk Hogan comes back with that leg drop. Puts them on their butt every time. They're done. It's over. That leg drop is fire.
Yeah.
It's no tombstone power driver.
That tombstone. That tombstone still, to this day, undefeated.
Right.
And with that, we bid you good night. Thanks for joining us on the Boldcastify football show, and I guess a little wrestling there at the end.
Sorry.
We went a little over. We apologize, but if you did listen to the whole thing, we do appreciate it. I'm Clay to Apocalypse.
This is Jay.
I'm Justin.
And follow us on Boldcastify Football or Boldcast Sports. Boldcastify Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all that good jazz. And be bold.